The night sky over Washington, D.C. was shattered on January 29, 2025. It was a night like any other, with the city lights twinkling below and the Potomac River reflecting the glow of the nation's capital. But this night would be etched into the memories of many for years to come. A routine flight approaching Reagan National Airport turned into an unimaginable tragedy. Flight 5342, an American Airlines regional jet, was on its final approach. The passengers, many of whom were returning home or heading for business meetings, had no inkling of the disaster that awaited them. An American Airlines regional jet, operating as Flight 5342, collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. The Black Hawk, a symbol of military might and precision, was on a routine training mission. The skies above Washington, D.C. are usually well coordinated, but on this fateful night, a tragic miscommunication led to a catastrophic event. The collision occurred above the Potomac River, sending shockwaves through the nation's capital. The serene waters of the Potomac, often a place of reflection and tranquility, became the backdrop for a scene of chaos and heartbreak. The impact was so severe that it was felt miles away, with residents reporting a thunderous noise that echoed through the night. The Bombardier CRJ-700, en route from Wichita, Kansas, carried 64 passengers and crew. Among them were families, business travelers, and crew members dedicated to ensuring a safe journey. Each person on board had a story, a destination, and dreams that were tragically cut short. The Black Hawk, on a training mission, had 3 Army personnel on board. These were individuals who had dedicated their lives to serving their country, engaged in a routine exercise that turned fatal. There were no survivors. The loss of these brave souls added a layer of national mourning to the already devastating event. The crash, a horrific tangle of metal and fire, left a scene of devastation in its wake. First responders rushed to the site, battling flames and searching for any signs of life. The wreckage was a grim reminder of the fragility of life and the suddenness with which tragedy can strike. Debris scattered across the river, a grim testament to the lives lost in an instant. The Potomac, usually a symbol of the nation's strength and resilience, now bore the scars of this tragic event. Rescue boats combed the waters, retrieving pieces of the aircraft and personal belongings, each item telling a story of a life abruptly ended. As dawn broke, the heartbreaking task of identifying the victims began. The impact of the crash, combined with the icy waters of the Potomac, presented significant challenges. Families and friends of those on board both aircraft faced an agonizing wait for confirmation. The process of identification, a meticulous and somber duty, was undertaken by forensic experts. They worked tirelessly, using DNA analysis and other methods to bring closure to grieving families. The names of the victims, slowly and respectfully released, served as a stark reminder of the human cost of this tragedy. The recovery operation was both complex and challenging. Divers battled frigid water temperatures and poor visibility. The wreckage, submerged in the murky depths of the Potomac, hampered their efforts. Specialized equipment, including cranes and barges, was brought in to aid in the recovery. The recovery teams worked around the clock, driven by a commitment to recover all remains and wreckage. Every piece of debris, every fragment of the aircraft, was meticulously catalogued and examined. The painstaking process was a testament to the dedication of those involved, honoring the memory of the victims with their unwavering efforts. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, immediately launched an investigation into the cause of the crash. Their team of experts arrived at the scene, prepared to conduct a thorough and exhaustive inquiry. The black boxes, crucial to understanding the final moments of both aircraft, were recovered from the river. The investigation, a complex puzzle with countless pieces, focused on several key areas. Air traffic control recordings, radar data, and eyewitness accounts were carefully analyzed. The wreckage itself, once recovered, would undergo rigorous examination for any clues that could shed light on the events leading to the collision. The skies fall silent, new helicopter restrictions. In the wake of the tragedy, the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, took immediate action. The incident had sent shockwaves through the aviation community, prompting a swift and decisive response from the authorities. The FAA, known for its stringent safety regulations, was quick to address the potential risks associated with helicopter flights in densely populated areas. New restrictions were imposed on helicopter flights in the vicinity of Reagan National Airport. This airport, being one of the busiest in the nation, required additional measures to ensure the safety of all air traffic. The FAA's new rules were designed to minimize the chances of mid-air collisions and other potential hazards. These restrictions, aimed at preventing a similar tragedy, focused on low-altitude routes over the Potomac River. The Potomac River, a major flight corridor for helicopters, was now subject to stringent monitoring and control. Pilots were required to adhere to new altitude limits and flight paths to avoid conflicts with commercial airliners. Helicopters were still permitted to operate in and out of the airport. However, they had to follow specific guidelines to ensure they did not interfere with the operations of larger aircraft. The FAA's goal was to create a safer airspace without completely grounding helicopter services, which are vital for various purposes, including medical emergencies and news reporting. However, specific flight paths, those deemed to pose the greatest risk of conflict with fixed-wing aircraft, were now off-limits. These no-fly zones were clearly marked and communicated to all pilots operating in the area. The FAA also increased its surveillance and enforcement efforts to ensure compliance with the new regulations. The restrictions, while necessary, had a significant impact on helicopter operations in the area. Pilots and operators had to adjust their routes and schedules, leading to increased operational costs and logistical challenges. Despite these hurdles, the aviation community largely supported the FAA's measures, recognizing the importance of safety and the need to prevent future tragedies. A nation in mourning. The crash of Flight 5342 and the Black Hawk helicopter sent shockwaves throughout the nation. Flags flew at half-mast, a visible symbol of a nation in mourning. The tragedy served as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the suddenness with which it can be taken away. Communities across the country came together to offer support and condolences. Vigils were held, prayers were offered, and messages of comfort were shared. The outpouring of grief and support reflected the profound impact of the tragedy on the American psyche. Trump weighs in controversy and condolences. President Trump addressed the nation, expressing his condolences to the families of the victims. He praised the first responders and vowed a full investigation into the cause of the crash. However, his remarks also sparked controversy. Trump suggested without evidence that the helicopter may have been flying too high and could have avoided the collision. His comments, while intended to offer comfort, were seen by some as premature and potentially insensitive. The NTSB, still in the early stages of its investigation, urged caution against speculation. The healing process, for the families of the victims and for the nation, will be long and arduous. The scars of this tragedy, etched deep in the hearts of many, will likely never fully fade. Support groups, counseling services, and other resources were made available to those affected by the crash. The investigation, though unlikely to bring back those lost, offered a glimmer of hope. By uncovering the truth about what happened and why, it was hoped that lessons could be learned and future tragedies prevented. Ensuring safer skies. Lessons learned. In the world of aviation, every flight is a testament to human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of safety. However, when tragedy strikes, it serves as a powerful reminder of the work that still needs to be done. The crash of Flight 5342 serves as a stark reminder of the importance of aviation safety. This tragic event has left an indelible mark on the industry, prompting a thorough examination of existing protocols and procedures. Every accident, every incident offers an opportunity to learn and improve. Safety officials and experts gather to dissect the events leading up to such incidents, aiming to uncover the root causes and prevent future occurrences. These meetings are crucial for sharing knowledge and fostering a culture of continuous improvement. The NTSB investigation, once complete, will likely result in recommendations aimed at preventing similar tragedies in the future. These investigations are meticulous, involving detailed analysis of flight data, interviews with witnesses, and collaboration with various stakeholders in the aviation industry. These recommendations could encompass a wide range of areas, from pilot training, which ensures that pilots are well prepared to handle any situation that may arise during a flight, and air traffic control procedures, which are critical for maintaining order and safety in the skies, to aircraft design and technology, which continually evolve to incorporate the latest advancements in safety and efficiency. The goal always is to strive for the highest possible level of safety in the skies. This involves not only implementing new technologies and procedures, but also ensuring that all personnel are adequately trained and that communication channels are clear and effective. Honoring the memory of those lost by making air travel as safe as possible is a solemn duty. Each improvement, each lesson learned, is a step towards a future where such tragedies are less likely to occur, ensuring that the skies remain a safe place for all who travel.